Look, I do a lot of presentation on Africa market entry, um, engaging investors and U.S. small businesses, and trying to highlight different countries, different sector. Today, I want to talk about the Democratic Republic of Congo. And as you see with the pictures, I'm always engaging, provide a general overview of different markets across Africa. But the DRC, the Congo, where I'm from, you see I'm wearing, cultural, because cultural intelligence is a business asset. Don't forget that. That's the reality. It's a business asset. But the Congo, Africa's second largest country. Um, but we import too much, man. We import a lot. Let's talk about that first. Every year, the Democratic Republic of Congo buy stuff from other countries, right? I'm talking about around 20 billion dollar worth, man. That's like a lot of money leaving the country. Of course, you know that the Congo is big on natural resources. Infrastructure is a sector, but think about the stuff that we import: fuel, gasoline, oil. Because even though we have mineral that the world need, but we don't have big refinery. Because when you get this mineral from the ground, you got to refine it. We don't have it. Machine and vehicle, cars. We got truck, buses, generators, mini machine, phone, computer. Yeah, these are stuff that we buy, man. Food, rice, wheat, chicken, construction stuff, steel, tools, pipes, clothing, electronic. Think about all these stuff. And these are the things that people use every day, but they are now made locally in the Congo. Yeah, I mean, it's that narrative where ownership is everything, and you know, it's a lot to share, a lot that I share when I engage in this presentation. But it's always about, why does the DRC import so much, right? I mean, one, factories are missing. The DRC Congo has ton of raw material, gold, cobalt, copper, diamond, all these natural resources that help produce all the electronic device that we have in the West. But we don't have enough factory in Congo to turn them into finished product, right? So it sells the raw stuff cheap, then we buy back finished product so expensive. Congo right now is out of control. It's so much, it's so expensive right now, from my understanding. And now, of course, poor infrastructure, road, electricity, transport system are weak in many area, which makes it hard for local industry to grow. I'm not saying this to scare you away. I think I just have to present the challenges first. We have old systems, years of bad leadership, conflict, corruption, which is the case across just in Africa. I mean, it's 54 market, 54 country, but Congo in particular, yeah. And I know we scare off investors, so even though people are talented, this is a country of 100 million. The capital is Kinshasa, 17 million people. We don't build local industry. That's the thing. The population is growing. Can you imagine, every year we're growing, we are required to have at least over 144,000 housing built. So, but the local supply can't keep up, man, because the import filled the gap. So the thing is, there's so much to consider. And it's challenging, right? But yeah, of course, poor infrastructure. It's good for me to kind of highlight the challenges, because guess what? The good news is we have to learn how to turn challenges into opportunity. But it's good to kind of be upfront when 2025, there's a lot going on around the world. I think we're looking at the geopolitical stuff. We're looking at tariff in the U.S. We're looking at all bunch of things. And to talk about, when we talking about Africa or these various African country, like, what's your market entry strategy, right? What are some of the top countries that have a lot of opportunities, right? But yeah, in Congo, I mean, more people equal more food product that needed, because, like I said, it's a country of 100 million people. The capital is Kinshasa, 17 million. But his is really the good news, because remember, it is a good news, but depending on your mindset, how you see it, you have to turn challenging into opportunity. So the investment opportunity, to be honest, are inside Congo, local manufacturing and agro processing. I just talk about what, because why the DRC import food, construction, all the stuff that could be easily produced. So your return of investment could be, I mean, I don't know, estimate 20 to 25% within the 3 5 years. Once the infrastructure and logistic are secure, it's happening now. I know it's very slow, but even small rice, or plants near Kinshasa or Matadi, one of the regions outside of Congo, can replace that import right away. So that's that sector. Another sector, renewable energy, those microgrids. I think why, and this was what one of my local consultant in Congo was telling me, only 20% of people have reliable electricity, and that's across Africa. Africa has like 600 million that have electricity. But in Congo, think about this. Your return on investment can be 80% from purchase agreement with business and hospital. You can find yourself in a situation where do the solar mini grid, lower factory, reduce internet hub costs. I think a lot of opportunity in the whole energy sector. Digital commerce and youth tech training. Yes, Congo has 17 million. Half of the population are at least, what is it? Young, between the age under the age of 30. Young people want job. They want to connect them to global market. I think the return on investment is basically the talent pipeline in Congo. Young people want job. They want to connect. I think through digital commerce, youth tech training, because the informal network of street vendors and market women and youth, that's a lot of talent, man. You know, why? Because they want job that connect them to global markets, right? A return on investment could be not only financial, but social and talent pipeline. So your return on investment, if you think about a program like Shopify, the EdTech pilot, all these seed micro startup, you can scale originally across Kinshasa. The other sector is logistic and trade and infrastructure. Why? Yeah, the road and transport systems are weak. So a lot of improvement being made right now to speak, but very slowly. But I think a return on investment, 20 to 35% via trucking, warehousing. We need a lot of port services venture across outside of Kinshasa, all these provinces like Matadi, Boma. And the reality, first mover can partner with uh, with the local cooperative, right? Well, to secure land and workforce support, basically partner with the consultant. Sorry, I meant construction and affordable housing. It's a huge sector. Real estate is everything. And remember, I mentioned earlier that population like 17 million in the city. Every year, they're required to have 144,000 housing, building, exploding. A lot of return investment. 30% could be an idea where you basically, you can have a high demand outpace supply by a million unit building housing and housing. Healthcare is a big sector in Congo too. I think the goal is to diversify sector across Kinshasa, across the Congo. We have a growing middle class, the few diagnostic center. Healthcare in Kinshasa needs a lot of help. You invest, you return investment 50% is an example. Maybe a dental tech pilot, like the one I'm working on right now. It's a project with a Japanese tech company. But yeah, cultural return investment, improve trust in the local system, and strengthen that U.S. Congo collaboration. The bottom line is this, man, your return on investment, it's a mindset. In Congo, there's risk. Everywhere there's risk. But risk also equal entry price. High risk mean high return, but also high relational capital needed. Trust, patient, and cultural intelligence. It's happening. There's money in Congo. But the way I'm trying to approach when I teach consulting training, I teach people how to mix psychology, art, and culture so we can turn the vitality into opportunity because we're scared, there's risk. And every investor dream of early access, right? So Congo offer that, regardless of the challenging. Because if you're bold enough to build before the crowd, you're good. And guess what? That's why the China playbook works. They're very patient. They take risk. DRC is one of the richest country in natural resources on earth. Mineral that help produce a cell phone, EV, you know what I'm saying? All these mineral. And yet we import most of what people eat and use. We need a lot of EV factory. So for us, like owning a garden full of fruit trees, but we always buying juice from the store outside. I hope that makes sense. I don't know. I'm just saying. That's why we got a lot of young people, young Congolese in diaspora, um, talking about value addition. You know what I'm saying? Many talented Congolese leaders, professionals, investors, we in the diaspora across the US. So the goal is we want to stop selling minerals, start making stuff from them inside of Congo. We want to see made in Congo. A lot of progress are happening, regardless of what you see on TV. And you also have to remember, corruption is not a Congo thing, it's a global thing, right? A lot of investors are taking risk and our early mover across Congo. You know what I mean? But yeah, the current project I'm working right now, I'm so happy about it because you have to take this the celebrate the first step because every effort matter for me from Congo. You know, it's very personal. And for the first time ever, I was able to introduce Venture Cafe Cambridge. It's a venture cafe. It's one of the most incredible innovation hub in the United States, to be honest. I introduced Venture Cafe to over 50 youth in the Democratic Republic of Congo. It was a remote. It was in collaboration with the U.S. Embassy in Congo, myself at Venture Cafe, and it was a big presentation. Quite frankly, it was just it was more than a presentation. It was a moment. It was a bridge. It was a powerful step for me to connect the local talent to a global innovation ecosystem that spanned from Miami to Montreal, Tokyo, because Venture Cafe in Cambridge is huge. They have a global chapter in so many countries. So the conversation was about how we introduced Venture Cafe to Kinshasa. So big shout out and thanks not only to the U.S. Embassy in Kinshasa for believing in this effort. I was on a Zoom with myself. And this effort is trying to open door, through these presentation. I also have the video on my YouTube channel about that. Because the reality when it comes to Congo, we have a lot of headline that focus on, yeah, U.S. Congo mineral deal, U.S. Congo mineral deal and infrastructure. We know, but we have to diversify different sector. It's important to remember that the Democratic Republic of Congo is more than just its resources. I think it was like the message. It's a land of so many youth potentials out of control, so talented, creativity, local entrepreneurial spirits of waiting. Yes, there's a lot of challenges, but there's also a lot of positivity. Things are happening. Definitely big shout out to some of my local liaison partner on the ground, Mr. Treasure Kalonji. He's the president of Reality DRC chapter. We work together, collaborate together, back and forth in Congo since 2018, man. So I've been on the ground, remote comeback, making things happen. We had a great presentation. We also had American Space in Matadi. They kind of helped us bring a lot of youth remotely. It was packed. And of course, my biggest shout out was definitely go to Trisha Potato, the best program manager at Venture Cafe Cambridge. And honestly, she's just dope, man. She's one of the most inspired innovation leader I ever worked with. She's amazing, so supportive. Venture Cafe in Cambridge is amazing. So I think for us, we talked to a lot of youth, 65 total. And these youth, they just want to, it's about really sharing how you can work with American companies and the tech sectors, the bridge between Boston ecosystem and Kinshasa. Kinshasa, the ecosystem, the number is 17 million people. Half of that young people, I think 60%, right? Under the age of 30. So this was about them, youth, innovation, an opportunity that they can learn, show up really early. It was in French, English, and it was very important for me to kind of, as I teach American here, the Kinshasa ecosystem, the snapshot. So I think if you want to invest as in Kinshasa, it's the capital, of course, 17 million people. Congo have 100 million people, but if I keep saying 17 million because it's very vibrant, hustling, also have an informal economy, which is live and loud, full of market women, street vendor, youth who want to learn how to work with American startup, man. They want to have access to a lot of digital tools. They want to have proper training and scalable market. There's so many business opportunity in Kinshasa. It's not even funny. Another region is called Matadi, is outside of Kinshasa. It's like a port city with at least 500,000 residents. Imagine that. It's a logistic and trade hub with a lot of young people active in agriculture and services, but often disconnected from the digital ecosystem and innovation network. Another province was Kisangani, close at least 2 million people, residents in our province, but they're very limited because of infrastructure. Uh, Many of the youth I did involve in this gold mining and fishery and former trade, but just lacked sustainable support system. I think, so we that was the audience we engaged, and this is where I'm launching the upcoming digital training pilot project in Kinshasa, working with great partners. We behind the scene doing a lot. The really goal is basically, how do we start with basic? I've done the market research on the ground and access this market to women. So basically, Shopify e-commerce, digital marketing and branding sector like at esport EdTech. This is the sector we identify, logistic and online tools for trade. That's what the youth want. Boston has all of that, plus certification and skill training. Everything, invest in training is key, man. Learning development, education is so important. Our young people, our youth in Congo need that education, man. So build relationship with American startup innovator is it's a beginning, it's a start. Just on the entrepreneurial mindset, job creation type of thing because youth need job, they want training, and I know there's a lot happening. I know the Council of Africa is focused on a lot of making sure country have digitizing training, digital. But also the holistic approach is important because when you have 17 million people, for me, it's like 17 million customer. But at the same time, the need is holistic too because from kind of like the basic need hierarchy of need, food and housing, but from a more ecosystem landscape and snapshot to look at the whole country as Africa second largest country, the biggest sector that always have headline, and that's part of the national economy that bring so much billions of money. It's always mineral, and infrastructure, of course, but it's important to diversify sectors in the DRC. A lot of sectors. I just mentioned them. You also have art and culture and agriculture. Oh my, the Congo has at least what is a arable land? Is it 80%? My understanding. So you think about, and only 10% are used. So basically, so much land, man. You see how you have a soccer stadium. That's kind of like the one of the size in Congo, but think about 80 million of that. Yeah, 80 times of size of a soccer field, right? Think about what can be done in terms of agricultural sector. But that's Congo. There you have it. Just overview of Congo in terms of ecosystem, some of the province I mentioned, the city, my project that I'm working on, just a lot of information. I hope this was insightful. Follow me on my YouTube channel. I know yesterday I was talking about Burkina Faso because I was there. Went to DC with my liaison from Burkina Faso, engaged with the ambassador of Burkina Faso because we're trying to, you know, bring investment in those markets in so many ways. But for me, the way to also bring investment is also important that um, business consulting and also training development services are very important because people need training, people need coaching on both sides. Cultural intelligence is a business asset. Don't overlook that because when I'm engaging U.S. investors, small businesses, I kind of always start with the framework of cultural intelligence is everything across this African market. It's about trust, relationship, and I did talk about the last time about the China playbook across Congo, across Africa, man. They are investors about risk. Would you be willing to be the first would you be willing to be the first early mover? Never know. Now you know you're being consciously exposed. Peace.